can't believe you guys played a song for me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
I know, right? I know.
Oh my
Every time for the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's been,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, that's us.
I was wondering why it felt familiar.
Yeah, no, that's nearly every weekend.
Is it the same guys all the time?
Same guy? Same guy, that's Philly.
Familiar, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Mike. Hi, Mike. Hey.
Remember we had Thanksgiving that one time?
Remember we went to Hawaii one time? How are you?
Good.
Good. Good. I like your blue sweater. It looks really nice.
Thank you very much. It's soft. Would you like to feel it?
Ooh, yeah. That's, oh, now you're hitting on me, and now you're slowly killing me. Which is it?
No, I wore it so that people would rub me extra today. And it's working. Yeah. Okay, now you're jerking my arm off.
I should.
Wait, what? No. Why do we always come to Philadelphia? Now, has Creation done shows here before? Never. So, I hate to say it, but do the owners of Creation have something against Philadelphia? Like, maybe, I hate to say this, but maybe you should have a riot. Don't say it in Philly. President Trump deploys troops to Philadelphia to quell unrest at Supernatural Convention. I mean, it would be kind of fun. I'm not saying do it, but if you were to choose to do it on your own, it could be funny. Well, I'm psyched to be here, and I hope we come back over and over again, because I love this city. It's so beautiful, and you guys have done amazing things with cheese and steak. I'm going to answer some questions, or in this instance, I'm sure, field some criticisms. Hey.
Not gonna say my name this time, so I don't remember.
Antonia.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know your name.
Okay.
This is Antonia, everyone. And Antonia, she has a perfume, if you can call it that smells exactly like maple syrup. So notice when she walks around, just if you catch a waft of maple syrup at some point. Right, woman behind, are you smelling the maple syrup? Right? And it's like delicious. It's a delicious smell. I'm sorry to objectify you like that, but from an olfactory vantage point. But, and now I'm sorry to call you out in front of everyone's going to be following you around, nose in the air for the rest of the weekend.
Again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, well, I do have a question.
You do?
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
What is your perfume? Can you share that, or is it actual maple syrup?
Well, no.
Do you bathe in maple syrup?
No, I don't. That's kind of sticky on my clothes.
That would be, yes. Okay. No, but it's a good visual. Okay, go on.
Okay.
I know, this is really going off the rails.
So I was wondering, what's the nicest thing that someone has done for you ever or recently? I don't know how good your memory is, so.
Well, a person of my advanced age, of course, one of the first things to go is the memory. People always say, you know that expression, I never forget a face? I always forget a face. And I also always forget a name. So I felt really excited when I remembered yours just now. That was awesome. The nicest thing anyone has ever done for me? my mom, when I was really little, gave birth to me. And I was so touched, like, and it made such a big difference too, like a lasting impact. So that has really stuck with me. Something that comes to mind recently was just a couple of nights ago, I had dinner with James and Chad, who were the showrunners for the show Gotham Knights that I was in a few years ago. A show that I thought they did an awesome job as the writers and showrunners of that. And when we wrapped, we were like, when we get back to LA, let's grab dinner. But of course, none of us actually meant it. And so it took until 2 days ago for us to get together for dinner. But they drove out to where I live, which is where I live half the time, which is Santa Barbara. And it's like an hour and a half drive. And we had a great dinner and caught up. And then they said, we have something for you in the car. And Chad makes these little Lego figurines. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get like a Two-Face Lego figurine. We got into the car, and he had made a double-necked guitar. It was like a Two-Face guitar. Half of it was like burnt and melted, but it all worked. Like it was just cosmetic. So it was like a fully functional electric guitar. It was a Two-Face guitar. And I almost cried. It was like this, like to make something like that is such a labor of love and would take so much time. And it was a really remarkably sweet and thoughtful gift. So that's something that came to mind, because my shorter term memory is still working.
Are you gonna post that somewhere?
Am I gonna play that?
Oh, well, okay, yeah, I guess, but also post it so we see it.
Oh yeah, good idea. Thank you. Are you gonna tell me what your perfume is?
No, but I did have one last thing to say.
Okay.
My friend requested Go Birds.
You know birds aren't real. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
Hey.
I'm Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
So I have a question. You've mentioned Rainbow Connection
Yes.
like at least 4 times.
Jesus
Probably
Christ.
more. And I'm just curious, what is it about that song that resonates with you, connects with you, that is it just you being silly, or is there deeper
First of all,
meaning?
I take issue with that because I am not a silly person.
Not at all, not even a little bit.
And second of all, I have no idea why that has come to mind repeatedly when asked about songs. But I will say that when I was little and saw the Muppets, I really loved that song. So maybe that's what it is. It's a childhood affinity that's just emerging.
Are you now going to be cognizant of the fact that you mentioned it a lot?
Of course, now I'm totally self-conscious.
I'm sorry.
And, stop monitoring what I say.
I'll stop paying attention then.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. Sorry, I
That's okay.
stopped my video.
You-
Okay, hi, sorry.
Hi.
I was not prepared for this. I always put my name in these things, and I've never won in like 8 conventions, so
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
sorry, it's a stupid question. But
You had 8 mentions to prepare.
I know, and I've won any question I've ever wanted to ask you. So, do you have any like hyperfixation, food, meal, drink currently that you are stuck on?
Well, I have a food problem right now,
Okay.
which is that I have this Asian pear tree, and it's called Asian pears.
Okay.
At least I think that's the colloquial name for them. It produced so much fucking fruit. And I don't know, and I'm one of these people, like, I hate the idea of the tree dropping its fruit and it not getting eaten.
Right.
But I don't know how to consume that many bushels.
Like
of-
copious amounts.
Right. So we're eating as many, like, I stopped buying fruit at the grocery store, and I've told the kids, you have to eat those goddamn pears. And we're plowing through them.
Okay.
And I bought an extra big dehydrator so I can make like dehydrated Asian. It's running around the clock. Like I will get through these fucking pears. But I realized though, if like you can really concentrate the stuff if you put it in the blender and then you pour it into the dehydrator and you make fruit leather. So I made a bunch of really thick fruit leather, and I told the kids, you eat that fruit leather. And they both got violent diarrhea. But I said, suck it up, we're gonna keep at it. So that's a current issue. It's a current obsession.
I was gonna say, is that just your current issue, or like?
It's an obsession. I mean, I'm obsessed with getting through those Asian pears.
Okay.
So it's a weird obsession, and it's one that's born of maybe the scarcity mindset of growing up poor or something like that. But I'm not giving it up, and those kids, my kids, aren't giving it up either. Even though it makes them sick, they will keep eating those pears.
Even with the diarrhea.
Even with the diarrhea. Well, I was literally, they were on the toilet and I was stuffing fruit leather into their mouths. That's not true, by the way. It's not true. So, thank you for,
Awesome, thank you.
yeah, that was fun to talk about. Hi.
Hi, I wanted to first thank you for every supportive message and every supportive message you ever put out. It's super helpful and it's quite literally. My question was, throughout the whole cast and throughout every season, who's the biggest diva or whoever slays the most, in your opinion?
Who's the biggest diva and who slays the most?
Either word.
Either one.
Either one. You can choose.
So I can choose to either shower someone in praise or condemn someone. And that probably reveals something about the type of person that I am.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say on the diva front, because we're all right up there. I'm trying to think of stories that I can tell without really being mean, and it's hard. Be mean?
It is possible.
It's so great. Yeah, do it. Ruin someone publicly. You're one of the people that would be like, oh, there's a public hanging? Cool. I'll go down to this town square. Come on, kids. There's a public hanging. Who slays the most? Probably. I would say probably. I hate to say it, but Jensen does. He's kind of like. Annoying. I mean, you know what? In a sense, it's a diva move of its own right, but he's kind of good at everything, which of course makes us all hate him. But generally speaking, on set, it's I can't. I don't remember the episode, but it was toward the end of the show, and he had this long tap dancing routine that he had to do. And they brought in a choreographer, and then they just walked through so it's gonna be tap dancing here, tap dancing, and I was like, oh my god, you're totally fucked. You're completely fucked. This would take 6 months of training to do. And of course Jensen's like, yeah, let's walk through it once and then film it. And it was really annoying, and there are a lot of things like that with Jensen. So he slays, but it's a loathsome quality.
Would you do the tap dancing? I mean, I'd love to see it right now.
Absolutely. I won't. I can't do it right now because my taps aren't working. But yeah. No, I would have no problem with that whatsoever. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, how are
are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So my question is, in the episode Changing Channels, we see Sam, Dean, and Castiel sometimes go in different TV shows in different universes. So I was wondering if the trio would end up in Hannibal, would they befriend Hannibal?
Would wind up in what?
If they would end up in the Hannibal universe, the NBC series?
Hannibal, yeah, I love that, yeah, sweet.
So if they would end up in this universe, do you think they will befriend Hannibal and Will, or would they hunt them down because Hannibal kills the rude people?
Hannibal kills good people?
The rude?
The rude people. Well, I mean, if you think about it, I think that's just it's a version of what Sam and Dean do, but maybe taken to a little bit more of an extreme. Because they kill a lot of people, Sam and Dean. And so I think that they would be like, oh, this guy is on it, he's rad. And they would really like to team up with Hannibal. I think that one thing that we sort of skated by, Supernatural early on, they were like, so here's the problem, you want to kill the demon, but you want to save the human that the demon has possessed, right? So they were like trying to figure out how to navigate that so that it wasn't like Sam and Dean just killing people. And then at some point they were like, it's cool. Just kill them all. But they're innocent. Everybody's done something bad. Take them out. Show no remorse. But they have a family now. They'll be fine. One less mouth to feed.
Thank you, Misha.
Thank you. Sweet question. Hi.
So if you were texting all of the Supernatural actors or characters, who would you put on mute first?
Richard Spade. In fact, I have. We've been on. I don't know if they still have this function, but you used to be able to remove somebody from a thread. So there would be this like sort of running joke of removing each other from group chats, which was a lot of fun, but also could be somewhat demoralizing. I realized at some point, I was like, oh, it's funny. If anyone ever got a hold of me, Jared, and Jensen's group text thread, we'd all be canceled immediately. It's a note to self. I should sit down with them and be like, guys, we're all going to open up our text threads and we're going to delete all. Right now, I want to see you do it. But it's like, you don't want to, it's like those memories, you don't want to delete it. And it's like all of that potential blackmail that you're really kind of flushing down the toilets. Well, you know what I mean. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, my name's Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
And my goddaughter who lives with me recently had a baby.
Congratulations.
So this is the first time I've had a baby in my house. And I'm in love. And I love singing to him. And he loves me singing to him. And I want to know, did you ever sing to your kids? And if so, what did you sing?
I did sing to my children, and I had like a small stable of songs that I sang on repeat. The Circle Game, Summertime, Yesterday, the Fox song, Fox Went Out on a Chilly Night, right in the moonlight. Sang those songs to those kids over and over and over again. I think it was also like a self-soothing thing for me. Like when you're so exhausted and you have a toddler or a young child and and sometimes as they got older, my kids would be like, sing to me. They still wanted me to sing to them. It was like this soothing thing. And I kept doing it. And then we heard, until they were like, I don't know, 8 or something like that, or 9. And we were in the car recently, and somehow, like on someone's playlist, one of those songs, I think it was Circle Game or something, it was on somebody's playlist, and it came up and started playing. And I was like, oh my God, kids, remember this song? And they were like, no. So I was like, the point of the story is that it's totally wasted time. Just don't bother. Because they're not going to remember anyway. I have a story that I shouldn't share. So I went, back in like 2000, 2001, I used to go to Burning Man. And it's very clean cut, very sober event. Nothing untoward happens there. So I went a couple of years, and then I brought my dad. And my dad at the time was worked for the city of Boston doing loan maintenance for city properties. Very middle management, bureaucratic job, not necessarily the Burning Man type. And we got to Burning Man, and the stories, there's so many great heartbeats in the story, but it's too long. Anyway, somebody said, at some point, Misha, open your mouth, and I did, and they put liquid acid in my mouth. And I had done acid the last time when I was in high school. And at that time I had decided never again am I doing acid. But that was wrong, because I did. And holy hell, did it send me into the darkest pit of despair that lasted for what seemed like an eternity. And there was a dust storm, and I was in my tent, and I had decided that I had lost my mind and that I was going to wind up homeless under a bridge. And the only thing that kept me tethered to reality was my dad singing Frosty the Snowman to me outside my tent. So here I am, a grown man. Somehow my brain latched onto this song that he sang me when I was a kid, and he's sitting outside the tent in this dust storm. It's 110 degrees out in the desert in a dust storm, and he's like, all right, Mish, well, I'm gonna head out now. And I'm like, no, Dad, you have to stay. And I just made him sing to me over and over and over again. And I imagine someday something similar will happen with you and your godchild when they're grown up.
He's going to want to hear the Cosmos Feet song, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Why did I share that story? Okay, hi.
I was trying to figure out how you were going to connect the two from singing to kids to doing acid.
But it worked, didn't it? It worked.
So my question is, if you could switch lives with any cartoon character, who would it be, and why?
Miss Piggy. And because someone would sing the Rainbow Connection to me.
That makes sense.
Nailed it. Thank you. Hi.
Hi Misha, my name's Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
I was wondering, up until this moment in your life, if you were to write a book, what would the title be and why?
Well, I did.
In the current times.
I am currently writing a book. The working title of which is The Bunker. And it's about a bunker. And why? I don't know. I just feel compelled to try my hand at long-form fiction, and I feel like it's a little window of opportunity where that's still an option before AI writes all of our books, and it's kind of a near future dystopian AI apocalypse story. So it's kind of a sweet story that kids will like.
Can't wait to read it.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Hi.
Hi, sorry, we were talking. I'm Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hope you're doing okay today.
I am. Thank you for asking.
And you can make pear jam and
Uh,
pear wine.
pear jam? Yeah, but these are like, they're almost like apples, the Asian pears. So that's not true.
Okay.
But I could make pear butter.
Yes.
That's a good idea, and I should get on that. That's really super time consuming and tedious. But it's also hard enough to eat high enough volumes of pear butter
Yes.
to give yourself like medical digestive problems. So that could be a good solution. And it keeps, you can store it for long periods of time. Okay, thanks for the tip.
Okay, but I do have a question. Okay, so it's a show question.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I know. I suck. So when
Let's see
do
if
you
I
think?
can weave a drunk story into
Yeah, let's see if we can do that. When do you think that Cass realized he was in love with Dean?
Season 4.
Immediately.
You know, it was an interesting kind of arc there because I think that there were moments along the way where it was like, is that what's going on? But it was a question that I don't know if you know this, but I played Castiel. And there were moments when I, as the actor, kind of asked that question of myself, but I never made like I never came down decisively like, yes, that's what's happening. Because I didn't think that the show would ever make that canonical. So I kind of wanted to leave a window open for possible interpretations, not only for the audience, but also for myself, because I think I wanted an out, you know, in case, but because I really didn't think the show was gonna go there. So Bob Behrens, who is a writer and an executive producer of the show, came to me toward the end of season 14, and he said, Misha, I have an idea for the end of season 15 for Castiel's kind of final arc. I want to run it by you. And he outlined the scene basically and said, what do you think? And he said, if you're in, if you are down for this, then I'll stay for season 15 on Supernatural. Otherwise, I'm going to go work on something else. Like, he was that committed to this storyline and that conclusion of Castiel's arc. And I was like, oh my God, I would love that. Let's do it and let's figure out how to make that happen. And at the time, I think both he and I realized, like, we don't know if the network is going to say okay to this. We don't know if the studio is going to say okay to this. We don't know, what the other producers are going to say to this. It was like a little bit of a Hail Mary, but we're going to try to make it happen. And so from the end of season 14, that's how I was playing it. But I was also playing it like Castiel still has to discover this in himself. You know what I mean? Like, Cass had to, come out of denial or whatever was going on for him. So,
Thank you.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, and thanks for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for asking the question. And thanks for the tip on the pear butter, more importantly. Even though you didn't give me that tip, you said jam, which was wrong.
Hi Misha, I'm Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
And my question for you is, I'm a preschool teacher and my students like to play the same songs over and over again to the point where I just despise them. Are there any songs
Despise the preschoolers?
songs. Is there any songs?
I'm picturing you like in the classroom you're in the closet with the door locked and the kids are beating on the door and you're saying, go away, I hate you. Fuckers.
Listen to so often that you wish would just like disappear?
Well, of course, I'm a parent. My daughter played and sang Firework by Katy Perry so many times that that I have a muscle twitch when I see a photo of Katy Perry now. And my son is he's trying to learn to sing Eminem songs at pace. And oh my God, is it annoying? And you have to play. He's pretty good at it.
Okay.
He's kind of like Jensen. It's like he's good at everything, and it kind of makes you like sort of annoyed with him at the same time. It's yeah. Anyway,
Thank you.
thanks. Hi.
Hi Misha, my name's Chloe, and I was wondering, which emoji do you think Cass would most misuse and how?
Good question. Like the little smiley face emojis.
Yeah, like any emoji.
I probably like a little devil emoji or a little angel emoji or a little kissy emoji. He'd be like sending Dean these little kissy emojis all the time. He'd be like, dude, Sam is gonna see this. It's fucking embarrassing. What are you doing? Stop it. That's another douchey thing, by the way, that happens on our group text threads, is that somebody will say something, they get a joke or something, and then one of us will respond with a gif of themselves from the show. Because those exist, right? But the impulse, right, comes to each of us to do that, which shows what megalomaniacal egomaniacs we are. It's pretty fun. I do it with my kids now sometimes. I'll like give them a little Castiel emoji, GIF, and then they'll say, "You're so dumb." Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi Misha, I'm Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
When you first got the role of Cass, could you ever have imagined how big it would become and impact it would have on your life?
No, I never imagined that Castiel would be so big, but he's huge. He's enormous. No, it's funny because somebody in my meet and greet asked more or less that question today. So those of you who are in my meet and greet, sorry. Turns out you didn't have to pay for it. I thought I was doing 3 episodes. I didn't even, because I'm a consummate professional, I didn't even bother to watch the show before getting on it. Because I thought, this is just a dumb, like, I've seen the posters. I know what it is. It's like, it's a dumb CW show. And I wasn't wrong. Kidding. Wrong crowd. There actually is a riot at the Supernatural convention. So and then it turned into 3 more episodes, and I was like, oh my God, holy smokes, they're giving me 3 more episodes. And then I got a convention, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then by the end of the season, they let me know that they wanted me to come back as a series regular for season 5, and we watched the season 4 premiere. The producers all got together and they invited a bunch of the cast to come watch the premiere of season 4 as it aired. And I was standing next to Sarah Gamble, who was writer and producer of the show at that point. And she, as right before my scene started, she said, Misha, your life is about to change. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is just a dumb show on CW. But she was quite prescient, because my life did change. Like, so it completely redirected the course of my professional and in many ways personal life from that point forward. So many wonderful things have come of it. I'm here in Philadelphia, up on stage, telling stories about doing acid. I would never have had that opportunity were it not for Supernatural. So yes, it's been such a wonderful gift, and it was totally out of the blue. You know, it's one thing if you get cast as a series regular on a show, because there's, you know, when that happens, like there's always the potential that this show is going to be a hit, or that something big is going to come of it. And you know, the paycheck when you're a series regular is orders of magnitude higher, you know, right out of the gate. So there's all of these like ingredients that go into that seeming like it's always a possibility. But as a guest star on a series that's already been running, it's not, there's no chance that something is going to come of that, usually. You know, it's very rare. So it was, it totally blindsided me. And I'm glad that Sarah was right.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I swear I had better questions, but then social media got a hold of my ADHD brain, and now this won't leave until I say it. So, terrible question, letting you know now.
Okay. Wait, so you went on Twitter or something, and you said, I'm gonna ask Misha a question. If he hurries up and answers the questions in front of me, maybe I'll get to the front of the line. I was thinking of asking this, what do you think?
Nope, stuck in my head.
You never shared what you were gonna ask? No. You said, what do you think I should ask?
No, I've got a question. It's a terrible question, though.
Well, what about social media?
That's where put it in my head, is it was something that was on social media that I saw a video of, and then now it's stuck in my head, and until it comes out of my mouth, it'll keep repeating.
So this is, in a sense, like a therapeutic intervention.
Sure.
Great, well, I'm happy to help.
Okay, so how many 10-year-olds could you fight and defeat if you won $100,000 for each one you beat? Think about this for real, because the person, the video I saw, like the dude, like really went into it to.
Right. I mean, so, okay. First of all, you have to think about like the long term on this kind of on a proposal. Because there's one version of this is like you throw up your hands and feet and walk away and you don't, am I killing them? No, I'm just beating the shit out of 10-year-olds. Okay. Oh, okay. So you gotta look at like the long term implications. And for sure, so even just one 10-year-old that you beat up for money, ruins your career, right? So then you gotta do cost-benefit analysis. Is it worth losing your whole career over $100,000? Certainly not. And then you gotta ask, is it a bunch of 10-year-olds at once, where potentially they can take you out? Or are you able to do these one at a time and just keep grinding away? Which of course would be my preference. But if you're gonna have to do, like, to take on all of the 10-year-olds at once, then you have to do a really coarse calculation. How many can I take out at once before they overwhelm me? And that becomes risky, because the last thing you want is for the 10-year-olds to take you out and for them to get $100,000. So I just need more information, I guess. And then you also, like, the compassionate part of me, there's a small portion of the equation where I have to think about the lasting damage, the trauma that it would cause these children. And does that factor in? Probably not, but this is a horrible question.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? A person that would ask that question is almost worse than a person that would fight 10-year-olds for money.
I may have met a few 10-year-olds.
Oh, that you have fought for money? Do you practice just in case somebody offers you money? Okay, well, this has been horrific. Thank you. Hi.
Hey Misha, it's CJ.
Hi, CJ.
My question. My question for you is, obviously all of us here, we're looking forward to the upcoming on-screen reunion of you, Jared and Jensen, and the boys. Thank you, Ricky, for doing that too, by the way. We figured it was coming, but still looking forward to it. So my question for you is there anything more that you can share about your upcoming role appearance on the boys?
You know, I've been asked that question several times, and we've been given very clear instructions from Eric Kripke not to reveal anything from the show whatsoever. It is a true state secret. They carefully guarded the scripts. I didn't even get to read, so I'm in, first of all, I didn't get to read previous episodes to know what the hell was going on. I didn't get to read the entire script of the episode that I'm in. I only got to read the relevant portions of the script. It is so shrouded in secrecy, that show. It's much more, like the security is much higher now than what they are doing with the upper echelons of the US Department of Defense. So, I mean, if I ever got on Signal and started, you know, texting about what was going on the boys, they'd come after me. But on the other flip side of that coin, what are they going to do? Fire me? They already told me it was only one episode and we're done filming, so what are the real consequences? They can't prosecute me for sharing details about the show, can they? Can they? Yeah, I did. I did sign something, that's a good point. So I could get criminally prosecuted. That's worth it. I'm trying to think of something that I can tell. Okay, so so Jared and Jensen and I are in an episode together. We're in scenes together. At one point, the director, Phil Screesha, who was our producer and director on Supernatural, he said, okay guys, Jared and Jensen and I all felt like we had got the scene. He's like, you guys feel good? Feel good? We're like, yeah. And he said, okay, we're gonna do another take. We're like, okay, what do you want? He's like, all right, I want you to do it again, but this time do it as Sam, Dean, and Cass. So we clicked right back into our old roles there, which is not really a reveal because that's not going to be on the show. I will tell you, here's a little one, here's a tidbit for you. We released a little video announcing that we were going to be together on The Boys. And I think it got like 100 million views. But we're actually not the only surprise guests in this episode. How about that? I'm just waiting for my phone to buzz with a text from Warner Brothers Legal. Oh, it's not Warner Brothers. It's Amazon. They're too busy. Thank you. Thank you for jeopardizing my career.
Hi, my name is Ollie.
Hi, Ollie.
And my question is, do you ever have to sign pictures of yourself that you really don't like or find embarrassing?
Yes. Do you have this problem too?
All the time.
Yeah, it's the worst. Yeah, I have, for some reason, like some of the photos that I took when I first got on Supernatural are still in circulation, still being printed up for people, for people to bring for me to sign. And I was A, a baby, and B, at that time, I was still like taking photos like. So it's like they're kind of ridiculous, and I would love to never see those again, but I don't think I have that power, so they're just in circulation. Luckily, I don't have any photos that are like the Brit pants. Or some of the early modeling shots that Jensen has circulating out there. So that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, bye. Hi.
Hi, Misha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
My name's Julia. My question is, I know it was mainly done for plot, but why do you think when Cass pulled Dean out of hell, he left him to dig himself out of his own grave?
Very good question.
Something I've always
It would have been helpful, huh? Like just the last little bit. Like he gets out of hell only to find himself buried in a coffin. Like that has got to be stressful and traumatizing. You know, one possible explanation was that Cass hadn't yet taken a human form, so he didn't know how to, you know, help in that sense. But that's a bullshit excuse. Laziness, maybe? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing out a hole in the plot. That's probably the only thing that you can find in Supernatural. It's like, wait a minute. That doesn't why? Because everything else was perfectly buttoned up. They used to, the first AD used to, I would always be like, wait a minute. This isn't consistent with what we did last season. And the first AD would be like, Misha, stop it. You're doing it again. Don't pull the thread. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
My name is Kaylin.
Hi, Caitlin.
I am 12 years old. I like to play on my Switch and MetaQuest. And I was wondering if Mason plays and if we could be friends.
Mason doesn't have a Switch, and she doesn't play a lot of video games, but she does need friends. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
About your clothing? Can we talk about your clothes?
I figured that was coming.
What?
My friend made this, so.
Really? Would you be willing to come up on stage with me? I would like to have a little bit better lighting here. Can the camera help here and just showcase this amazing wardrobe? There's Jensen looking surprised, Misha looking surprised, Jensen looking weird, Misha looking smug. Your friend made this? How long have you been watching Supernatural for?
I think I've been watching it since 3 years.
So you were 9? Yeah. Do you think that it's caused any lasting damage?
Not really.
But I'll point out that was quite a lengthy pause.
A little.
Sure, but all good things cause a little bit of, right? No pain, no gain. Well, thank you for, So tell me, why did your friend make this shirt?
Because she thought it would have been funny.
Your friend was right.
And she also made one from last year. It was like a sweat outfit of both you and Jensen. Just you two.
Seems like a theme. Well, tell your friend that she makes very alluring apparel. And I'm going to try to find something like that for my children to wear, because I think that would be really nice for them. Oh my God, actually, speaking of which, that just reminded me, I got to show you a picture. Hold on, don't look at my phone. Look at this. This was, so Friday Wait, is that yesterday? Yes. God, slow it down. Okay, so yesterday morning, as I was leaving the house to come here, my son West came in to the to the kitchen wearing that. It's a similar shirt. It's got 5 pictures of me on it, which I had given to him as a joke. Like, hey, you should really wear this. And then he put it on to wear it to school. It's like a role reversal, really, where like he's 15, right? So at this age, he's supposed to be embarrassed by everything that I do. But in fact, he's embarrassing me. It's amazing. Very nice to meet you. Hello.
My name is Robin, and it kind of goes with her being up there on stage. I teach 8th grade, and I wanted to know what you could tell me to get them to all be Supernatural fans.
Well, I don't, like I indicated there, I do think that it does cause psychological trauma, so I'm not sure that I would really advocate for 8th graders watching Supernatural. I often will meet people like in the autograph line, they'll come up and like, they'll have their kid with them who's like 7, and then 7-year-old, oh, you're her favorite character. And I'm like, well, she's gonna be a serial killer. 8th grade.
Because I talk about it all the time.
Really? They say like one of the great things at that age is like figuring out what really inspires a kid, what they get fired up about, what is compelling and interesting to them, so that you can sort of like nurture that and help them grow in that direction. But it seems like you're doing the opposite. You're like, kids, this is what I'm interested in. Follow my interests. I had my best friend from childhood, from 7th grade. His name is Darius, and we're still best friends. He and I we met in middle school, and our teachers had such a profound impact on us. I think that age, that 12-year-old age, is such a critical time in education, because it's like kids at that age are really soaking up what the adults around them are giving them, and it's sticking. Unlike the songs I sang to my kids at that age, it's really like landing and sticking. And we had these 2 teachers in this middle school. They were a husband and wife teaching duo, and they both had profound impacts on our lives. And it was partly because they figured out a way to sort of pound the message into us that we could really follow our dreams and really make something happen if we applied ourselves. And they really kind of instilled in us the sense that if we worked hard, something good would come. And they allowed both of us to kind of believe in ourselves. When we had both come from homes where we weren't fully getting that message, and we both, those same teachers ended up noticing that Darius, when he graduated, went to a couple of different high schools, kind of had a hard time. When he graduated from high school, he was kind of spiraling, and it was like he was on the edge. Like he kind of got the sense like if he didn't get his life together, it might go off the rails and he might wind up dead. You know, it was not going well. These 2 teachers sort of kept from a distance tabs on us years and years after we had left this middle school. And they called Darius and they said, "We want you to come teach in the middle school." They brought him back as a teacher, and he thought that it was because he was so great. But really, they were doing it because they wanted to rescue him. And it worked. Like, that turned his life around. And that incredible attentiveness from a teacher who cares can be such a life-changing thing. 2 summers ago, these 2 teachers had an 80th birthday, joint 80th birthday / celebration of life. They both have health issues. They don't know how much longer they're going to be around. So they did this lovely thing, which was like a living memorial for themselves. And we went back to Western Massachusetts for this event and got to get up and give speeches honoring these 8th grade teachers. And it was so wonderful, so moving to see the impact that they had had on generations of people. But it's a long-winded way of saying, I think that you are doing such important work, and you have the power to change the world in that way.
I always hope that I am inspiring them. I'm in my 25th year, so I have a lot of them come back and say hi and talk to me.
Thanks for doing it. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Misha, I'm Kim. So first of all, crock pot for the peanut butter. We'll make it go really fast, and then you won't have to...
So it's so funny that you say that, because the last time that I made apple butter, I did it in a regular pasta pot, and it was so impossible to keep it cooking but not have the bottom burn.
Right.
And you're right. I just need something with more thermal mass. Thank you for addressing that. Thank you. It's super useful.
So my question, I guess, is as someone who shares a lot of the same interests and causes that you have done such an incredible job with putting out into the world and helping, how do you manage the weight of all that you see every day and all all the information that's just pushed on us? How do you continue to find the joy and just the strength to keep going every day with what you do?
I think we are in an interesting, I don't have to qualify it with I think, we are in an interesting time that is new for all of us, where there's a deluge of information. It's information that's competing for our attention in the most insidious ways. It's mostly not good information to consume, not useful information to consume, but it can also overwhelm us and fill us with despair. I just went, just about a month ago, I was in Africa. I was in South Africa and in Rwanda observing some projects that Random Acts had funded some years ago and checking in on the progress, and was really astonished by how successful these projects had been and the lasting impact that they had had on the 2 communities that they serviced. Lives were changed, and actually, without hyperbole, some lives were saved, and it's just an amazing thing to see that it was the supernatural fandom that funded this, that we were able to collectively make that impact. But I went there with Giles Dooley, who's this amazing war photographer who stepped on a landmine more than a decade ago and lost 2 legs and an arm, and continues to travel around the world 300 days a year documenting conflict zones. He's never stopped doing the work to try to bring attention to the people who are most in need in the world. And we had a lot of conversations when we were on this trip in Africa talking about that very question that you're asking. Like, how do you not become overwhelmed with despair when there's so much to despair about? And the answer that both of us arrived at, and I think it's true, is that you do something. You just keep doing something. Just find a way to make a contribution of any kind. Don't give in to despair to the extent that you become incapable of actually participating. You have to just keep doing whatever it is that you can, because you never know what the thing is that's actually going to make a lasting contribution that's going to change somebody's life. You could be like the teacher who changes the course of your song, or you could, notice someone who's in need and who's on the, brink of overdosing or on the brink of homelessness, and figure out a way to pull them out and to change the course of a life. But if everybody had that ethos, I think I'm seeing a lot of people who are like, you know what? I'm done. I'm throwing up in my hands in despair, and I'm just going to try to take care of myself and forget about the rest of the world. And I think that's the exact opposite thing of what we should be doing. And if everybody had the ethos of, I'm going to look for the thing that I can do to help other people, we wouldn't be in these situations in the first place.
Misha Collins, 2028.
Oh, Richard Spade. Hey,
Misha, how are you, bud?
we missed you at the beginning here when you were. I was hoping to say hi to you.
I know. I was really hoping to say hi to you, but they were keeping us apart. Obviously,
it's weird.
For Richard, the hosting is sort of just a suggestion.
It's like I kind of feel like you don't want me on Fridays, maybe you don't want me on Saturdays. I don't know. Misha, what did you get up to last night?
I went out to dinner with my good friend Richard Spade.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I did.
All right,
that's you, Rich.
And Tyler Hayes, who's an amazing artist designer who lives here in Philadelphia and does amazing work.
Yeah.
I was sad that Rob decided not to come.
It was weird having that fourth empty seat.
Well, I didn't know.
Weird. No, it's fine, dude. I get it. Right, we had this dinner with Misha. We're never around Tyler. We never see Tyler. Rob knows Tyler well.
I didn't know I was invited. I didn't know it was happening.
Point is, Tyler lives in Philly. We never get to see Tyler. We had a dinner with Tyler, and
it was a delicious dinner.
Delicious dinner.
It's a dinner, by the way, that we wouldn't have been able to have were it not for the fact that Tyler knew the owner, so he could pull some strings.
I heard that you kind of got you.
I got big time.
Yeah, we had a funny exchange where there's a restaurant Misha wanted to go to. Tyler is a furniture designer and clothing maker, and he made, what kind of clothes does he make? These pants, this shirt, and this jacket. For starters. Mainly the furniture guy, though. If you've ever listened to our podcast, we talk about M. Crow, BDDW, those are his companies. Anyway, it's very fancy.
He lives in Philadelphia.
And he lives in Philadelphia for his New York and LA showrooms. We were trying to get a table at this restaurant, and Misha at the time.
I seen this article in the New York Times that said this is one of the 50 best restaurants in North America. And the article came out a few days ago, so I was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get a table, but maybe I can pull the celebrity card.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try that.
He did, and he came back like, okay, I Hollywooded them to get to this table at 9:45 p.m. or something.
Right. They can seat us at midnight.
I guess while the staff was cleaning
They're not
up.
open. But
then Tyler, he's like, well, I can call since I know the owner.
I know, like, we left that on the back burner, like, I actually know the owner, and let me see if I can get a table. Yeah, he got back to me right now immediately, and we have a table.
Yeah, and it was a table, ironically, for four.
For four. It was a table for four.
I didn't even know I was invited.
Perfectly suited for four people.
Rob decided not to show.
I didn't know it was happening.
Which was a little awkward.
I also thought, the irony is Rob's going to not show. He's not going to fly in town in time for it. He's not going to be there. Won't be a part of it. But we'll still have FOMO that he missed a thing that he skipped out on.
That's true. I had FOMO that I missed something I didn't know about, and also I was in the air flying. I didn't land until 8:30.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a fait accompli. You weren't going to be there.
But damn it, why wasn't I there?
Well, we kept the seat empty in your honor, Rob.
I appreciate it.
Nobody sat there unless we could have enticed our
It was
waitresses.
kind of nice that way, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, the empty seat would have been a lot more joyful than me.
What was?
The empty seat was a lot more.
Actually, the empty seat had a lot more to contribute.
Well, listen, the empty seat listens.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, how was your time today?
We talked about beating up 10-year-olds.
Good. Okay.
It's a kind of thought experiment.
Yeah, you were really antsy about that last night.
Yeah. We also talked. I told them stories about nearly overdosing on acid.
Then also almost
because I knew that there were some children in the audience.
Yeah, you're speaking to your people.
Wanted to talk about that.
Yep.
Right.
I had both of those on my bingo card.
Yeah. And we talked about you.
So, child abuse, drug abuse, and
Richard Spade abuse.
I am the third prong of that triangle, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen,